All right, so for today's notes, we got 9.7, which is called scatterplots. And basically, scatterplots are used to show how two pieces of data are related to one another using points or dots on a graph. So if I look at this guy, this is saying, hey, test scores versus number of hours studied. And this kind of shows you, like, the more you study, the better your test scores are going to be. And then the less you study, the worse your test scores are going to be. So it's just like correlating two types of information, putting them together on a dot plot just to see how they're related, or a scatter plot. So we're going to look at correlation in the basic version of line of best fit. There's like a super mathy way to do line of best fit, but we're not going to be doing that. So we'll start with correlation, and remember that we read graphs from left to right. And then we're going to have to talk about strong positive correlation, weak positive correlation, strong negative correlation, weak negative correlation. If something is strong, I'm going to go in chunks here. If something is strong, that means the points are close. All right, that means the points are close together. If we have weak, like we see in these two, that means they're spread. Or if you want to write spread out, that's fine too. Maybe I should write spread out. All right. If something is positive, so in these two pieces, if something is positive, it goes up. So a strong positive correlation means points are close and they go up. If it's a weak positive correlation, the points are spread out and go up. I'm wondering what negative means. All right, so if you see a negative correlation, that means the points go down. And then the last piece of information is a no correlation. And a no correlation, there is no pattern to the points. Okay, so what is the correlation of the graph to the right about test scores and hours studied? So we're looking at this one. All right, so when I read from left to right, it's going up. But the dots are kind of spread out. They're not really close together. They're kind of wide. All right, so that means that this answer here is going to be a weak because it's spread out, and then positive because the dots are going up. Okay? So I got a beaucoup bunch of examples. And if you don't take French, beaucoup means a lot. So let's look at this guy. It's going down, right? And then my dots are close together. So this is a strong negative correlation. I'm going to write NEG for negative because I always forget how to spell it. This next one here, it's not really going up. It's not really going down. So this is going to be one of those no correlations. And I'm going to abbreviate correlation. Next up, let's see, our dots are going up from left to right, and they're really close together. So they're close together. That means it's strong, and if it's going up, it's positive. And I'm going to abbreviate positive. This one, okay, hopefully we got this one. It's going down, and the dots are really together here. So this is going to be a strong negative correlation. This one, same thing, it repeats. This last one here with the black X's, it's another strong and negative. It kind of makes a perfect straight line almost, and it's going downwards, so that's good. When the dots are more wide apart, that's when it's going to be weak. Like, for example, this one, the dots are like really wide, right? They're like really spread out from each other like this. So this is going to be a weak. And the dots are going in an upward fashion, so it's going to be a weak positive correlation. Another one, this next one here, the dots are spread out, but they're going in a downward fashion, right? So this is going to be a weak negative correlation. This one here almost looks like it makes a nice straight line, so it's pretty much a strong. That's what you're looking for with strong correlations. And it's going in an upward fashion from the left to the right side, so this is positive. This one, again, my dots are more spread out, but I can kind of see that they're going upwards, so this is going to be a weak positive correlation. This one they're really spread out and there's not really a direction they're going, so this is going to be a no correlation. All right, where are we at? This is the last row here. The dots are really spread out in this next one, but it's going kind of downward. We can see that. So it's going to be a weak negative correlation. This one we can tell the dots are going upward and they're really close together. They're almost forming a straight line. So this is going to be a strong positive correlation. Same with this one. The dots the points are really close together, so it kind of looks like it's making an almost a straight line, and we can tell it's going in a downward fashion. So this is going to be a strong negative. This one looks like it's almost exactly a straight line, and it's going upwards. So this is going to be a strong positive correlation. All right, so very good. So again, weak correlations, they're a little bit wider apart, they're a little more spread out, but you can tell the direction they're going. If it's strong, it almost looks like they're almost going to create like a nice straight line, and you can also tell the direction they're going. And then if they're totally spread out, you can't tell what's happening, no correlation. Now for the line of best fit, we're going to have to draw these, so here are our guidelines. So the line should follow the correlation. All right, the line should go through as many points as possible. There should be about an even number of points above and below the line. And the line should pass through points throughout the line, not just the beginning and the end. So example 1, which of the following shows the line of best fit for this scatter plot? Well, this first one doesn't work because it does not follow the correlation. This next one, it doesn't really look like it's got an even amount above and below at all. Like there seems to be like more at the bottom here than at top. So this doesn't work too. And then so this one actually looks pretty good. It looks like it's got an even amount. It follows the correlation. So I'm going to say it's C. And then D, it's got a lot more above than it does below, and it doesn't pass through a whole heck of a lot of points. So that's why this one doesn't work. So C is our answer. Looking at 2, let's see here. Let's start with back. So let's start with D. Well, D doesn't look like it at all follows the correlation because our correlation kind of looks like it's going up. Letter C here, it doesn't pass through a whole heck of a lot of point. It only passes through one point. It does look like it almost has an even amount, but it doesn't seem to, it's got to pass through as many points as possible. So C is like a no-go. Letter B here doesn't pass through any points, so it's not going to work. And it doesn't really look like it has an even amount of dots on each side of that line. And then looking at A here, it only passes through a point, but it also has about an even amount of dots above and below that line. So I'm going to say it's A. See, this guy also, just because it has only one point it passes through, it doesn't really follow the correlation. Our correlation is kind of like going upwards faster, right? It doesn't seem to really be going sideways like this guy is saying. All right, so we're going to draw the line of best fit for these 10 equations. All right, so I'm going to say, because we want it to be kind of passing through the middle, and this one's kind of shaped nice for us, so I'm going to say it kind of goes like this. I got an evenish amount. I'm passing through a couple of points, so that works pretty good. Do the same thing with this one. I'm kind of going to pass through these dots right here because they're lined up. And it kind of has an even amount above and below, so that looks pretty good. These are guesstimations. Okay, hold up, wait a minute. I got to write a love note that I forgot about. All right, remember this is a no correlation. So there's no line of best fit. You cannot draw a line of best fit for something with a no correlation. So I didn't look at my personal notes on the side here. So we're going to make a little love note and say there's no line of best fit for no correlation. You can't, because you can't tell what direction it's going. So that's why there's no line of best fit. This one here, so this last one of the top, again, these are guesstimations. So as long as it looks pretty good, I got about an even amount. I'm passing through a couple of points, so that's a good line. Let me switch back to my colorful colors. Second row, first one, I'm gonna kind of go through straight, just like that. Got about an even amount on both sides, passing through a couple of points, we're good. This one is almost a beautiful straight line, so this looks pretty nice. Probably want to move this a little bit more though, a little bit more in this direction. There we go, so it looks a little bit more even. Same with this one, draw your line through, it's going down, pass through as many points as you can, try and have an even amount on both sides. Oh, that was the last one for this row. Last row, first one, pass through as many points as you can, but try to keep an even amount on both sides. That looks good. Again, guesstimation, we're not doing the crazy math version of this. There we go. All right, this one, there's no correlation, so there's no line of best fit. All right, your homework, you have 5 examples. You need to determine if you can draw the line of best fit, the type of correlation, and then you also need to draw the line of best fit as well, okay? All right, everyone, that's the end of this video, and I hope you have a good evening.